for Newcastle at that daunting two legs against Barcelona. Manchester City did well. This is Manchester City reserves, pretty much, did very well. But I just feel a little bit the story is Newcastle because I don't understand what happened after being so good for the opening 15-20 minutes.
Well, the biggest problem Newcastle generally have, particularly at home, is they play on emotion. And when you're playing on emotion, it means you're giving every single thing every single minute. And so when you've just come off what they've come off the last couple of games, and you don't have that energy, then they blew a gasket. You know, they had such a good start. Clearly before the game they were revved up. You know, let's not forget about what happened the last couple of games. Let's make sure we're at it. And they were. But unfortunately they couldn't sustain it. And Newcastle cannot sustain that type of energy, playing with that sort of emotion in front of that crowd. And that allowed City, when they dropped, to get in the game. And after that, then City just took them by the throat. You know, it's funny that sometimes we talk about when you make so many changes, you're playing basically reserve players or players that are not playing.
Yes.
And the worry is that they won't have enough in their legs because of that. But it actually went in Manchester City's favour. They absolutely had more legs when it mattered most. And when they took control, that extra energy, you know, breathing. When you breathe, people forget, it goes straight to the brain, it clears the brain. Newcastle couldn't breathe. They couldn't think straight. And so City, not only did they have the legs, they had the brains, they had the composure, they had the ability, they had the players, the goals, you name it. And so for me, that last hour of that game, Manchester City were absolutely in control.
For more of Stevie's meditation classes, be sure to click on the QR code, which we'll be showing you later on. Ali, we talk about the depth that Arsenal have. There's a lot of depth this Manchester City side, which obviously is going to play when you're looking at the fact they're still fighting on the Champions League front as well as the Premier League as well.
Yes, there is depth, but not at the same level that Arsenal has. So yes, you may have 2 players per position, but those 2 players per position are not playing as well as those 2 players per position are for Arsenal. So that's why the comparison is a little apples and oranges. Arsenal, I think, and their depth is probably the best in Europe, whereas Manchester City, even their best group hasn't been consistent enough. And that's why you find difficulties in believing in Manchester City as it pertains to Champions League. It was hard to believe in Manchester City today for the first 20 minutes. If you had been watching this game for the first 20 minutes and you had to go to the grocery store, you would never have imagined that there would have been the turnaround that we saw today.
Sometimes you have to just go and meditate, Ali.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to breathe.
The cutting-edge analysis of breathing. Yes, well, truth is, and give Manchester City credit, in that those guys that got an opportunity today that I was questioning in the pregame, they were very good. Now, a combination of that is Newcastle not breathing enough, apparently, and Manchester City just being able to have outstanding performances. Savinho, he didn't mean to score the goal, but he did mean to take on defenders the whole day, and he was doing that time and time again. Stevie in the pregame highlighted Jeremy Doku getting an opportunity. He was dangerous over the course of the match when he was on the field. Marmoush getting an opportunity, scores 2 goals, and you're thinking, if you're Pep Guardiola and you had set out a perfect scenario for this match, of course you don't want to give up the first goal, and you don't want to play the first 20 minutes that you did play, but on the balance of the 90 minutes, this is exactly how you would have imagined and envisioned the game going. That these guys that get an opportunity were outstanding on the day, win the match, and now you focus on what's ahead. And to your point, what's ahead is Real Madrid, Champions League, where that depth is going to be tested.
Let's get some reactions, shall we, after the game. Here's Pep Guardiola.
Pep, congratulations into the FA Cup quarter-finals for the 8th year in a row. But what did you make of your team's performance out there tonight?
What do you think?
I think you enjoyed it. Did you?
We played so good. For the first 20 minutes, always in this stadium, always happen. But after when we dropped them and make a sequences of passes, and especially Savio and Jeremy were so decisive, we make an incredible, the best I've seen, the best performance we are playing in this stadium in our time together here. So I'm really, really good.
Talking of Savinho, he got man of the match. Is that the easiest goal, though, he'll ever score?
Yeah, but I don't know. But the ball was, why don't follow the action? Because the ball was, I don't know, was clear to go. But yeah, we play really, really good. Savinho at that age, in the 1-against-1 is unstoppable. When we finish the final product, will be top class player.
And how crucial was the timing of the second goal you scored then just after half-time, given how well you ended the first half?
Yeah, of course it's important scoring in the first minutes, but the game was really good since the first 50-20 minutes after that until the end was brilliant. The defenders, the midfielders, and Nico and both Nicos, and in general everyone happy for Omar, make a fantastic, especially his second goal. But everyone was to beat Newcastle, you had to perform really well, especially here in the FA Cup at one game.
You were very animated today on the touchline, Pep, and obviously had some words with the referee at full time. What were you unhappy about?
Listen, it's not about this penalty, no penalty, and it happened. There are everything actions that is difficult for me to understand. So, because the fault to Jeremy is too clear, and after, of course, I would not shut up. I would not be in silent. So it's many times happened. So listen, we have all the records in this country. I'm sorry, even for the referees, all the records. We have also the manager, the most yellow cards in. Also have that record, so I'm so proud of that. So it's too clear. There are actions that is not understandable. You can make a mistake on an action and penalty, and the other one is how do you conduct the actions. So when Jeremy dribble go alone and be pulled from behind is in everywhere his fault except here. So okay. Is what it is. So that's why well deserves the yellow card. We have 2 games banned, so we'll be on holidays and the team will continue.
And I just have to ask you, after Omar Marmoush scored the third, what were you saying? It looked like you were repeating something over and over again.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
What were you sorry for?
For how good we are playing. Yeah.
And how nice is it, Pep, to make 10 changes for your team to perform like that ahead of such a big game in the Champions League next week?
It's what it is. We did it against Bayer Leverkusen, and it was incredible criticized, right? And what to me? I was the first that said maybe it's too many chances, but I trust a lot with that players, and with a man of games everywhere has to be involved, and it's the only way, because in 3-4 days we have a travel to Madrid, and after that travel to London, so it's many games.
Roller coaster there of emotions from Pep Guardiola.
Was he happy?
I don't know if he's ever happy.
I think you need to give him some lessons in sarcasm.
Yes.
His delivery's not there, is it?
No, I wouldn't say it is. Real Madrid next. They're going to this game favourites, rightly so, considering what we've seen from Real Madrid, Ali, and from what we've seen from City, in the fact they've been able to rest 10 players.
Yes, and this could have been a stressful match for Manchester City and ended up being not so.
Yeah.
Whereas you watched Real Madrid play yesterday, and every minute of that match was stressful. And there is pressure that surrounds this team. There is pressure that surrounds Arbeloa. So beyond the physical aspect of the game and the fact that Real Madrid just haven't played well for a while and haven't created enough opportunity, haven't scored enough goals, they've had their issues defensively, they get disconnected in the midfield. Beyond all of that, then there is an aspect of how are you feeling going into this match? What is your level of confidence going into this match? And you must say the Real Madrid, if indeed they present themselves as confident, they're making it up. They're lying to you straight to your face, because there is nothing to really draw confidence from, not even winning yesterday. Winning yesterday was due to a deflection that if had the ball gone off the post and in for Iago Aspas with minutes to go, it would have been yet another defeat, 3 in a row in La Liga. So Real Madrid are barely hanging on. Manchester City are coming in this, I wouldn't say flying, but feeling a whole lot better about themselves after this result against Newcastle.